Most I would like to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakakwadash. And I would also like to give a double honors unto the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone that do rule well, that have taught me this truth. And I would also like to say a sincere shalom unto the hopeful elect, unto the scattered elect, unto the brothers that are prophesying and laboring in this truth and in this doctrine. Unto you I say shalom. These are sheep with no shepherd, and I'm referring to the false prophets. All right, and 2026 is the year of the apostate, the false prophets, the sellouts, and the bug outs. All right, because you got a lot of guys out there in Israel that are leading the flock, all right, the elect astray, all right, not gathering, all right, and it's like a sheep, all right, the ultimate shepherd is Yahawashi, all right, but you got these sheep that are, that are Israelites, but they're attempting and leading other sheep astray into danger, okay, but I'm going to start with John 10 and 10, where the elect hear are the only ones that hear the shepherd. The elect are the ones that are the only ones that are going to get and receive the 100% doctrine, okay, of this truth, or the names, all right, of the prophecies of who salvation is for, okay, the true breakdowns, the true mysteries, those are the ones that are going to hear and are going to be able to receive it, while these hirelings, okay, while these false prophets are going to be leading majority of all the people that follow them down a road of destruction. So let me start with John 10 and 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. All right, so you're trying to go up another way. You're trying to, they're not really trying to go up another way. They think they can have their cake and eat it too in this world. They can get the bag and get paid, and and also be a man of the Lord. It don't work that way. Okay, yeah, you gotta, it's one or the other. Okay, and like I said, a lot of these guys sold out. All right, they sold out. All right, they're not in this truth for the love of Yahawashi, for edifying the elect, for waking up the elect, because they really want salvation. A lot of these guys just want a position and are comfortable in that position, or they're comfortable in this current world, in this world we're living in, this wicked current world. Okay, verse 2, but he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep, and we know the shepherd is Yahawashi. Okay, and okay, verse 3, to him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his sheep by name and leadeth them out. Okay, so hey, the only voice that we hear, all right, is the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. And the only voice that the true believers are going to hear are the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shai, because we're coming in his spirit. Okay, and those that follow the truth, that they're going to know that, okay, these guys got the truth. These guys are coming in the right spirit. All right. While you got other Israelite groups out there that are emotional, they're either emotional, or either their doctrine is completely off. They're leading the people down a road of destruction. They're eventually leading our people to take the mark of the beast. Okay. Verse 4. And he that putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, and they know his voice. And a stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. And these guys are coming with strange doctrines. The Genesis Israelites, ISUPK, IUICs, the GOCCs, they've been bugged out. Um, it's getting worse and worse and worse. These guys are waxing worse and worse. But but apostles, elders, the prophets of old warned of these times, warned of these things that were to come. Okay, the false prophets. There's always been false prophets. All right, this is a necessary evil in these last days, where you're going to have more false prophets than true prophets. Okay, because let me get this. Matthew 5, and I think it's 5. Excuse me. To 5 or 6. I think it's 6. Let me see. Damn, where is this scripture? Hold on, real quick. Let me bear with me 1 second. Let me look it up on my phone because I'm faster on the phone. Um, uh, yeah, this is Matthew 7. I know I was close. Matthew 7 and verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. All right, so this truth is the straight gate. The straight gate meaning a degree of difficulty. It's going to be hard. Okay, it's going to be trials and tribulations. It's going to be temptation. All right, but the broad gate is not going to be none of that. The broad gate is the easy way. The broad gate is saying, hey, the mark of the beast ain't the chip. The Broadway is saying that heathens and everyone can make it. Okay, that's appeasing this world, appeasing the wicked minds of this world. The thing that you could live in your wickedness. You could be a wicked nigga, a wicked a Mexican nigga, a wicked you could be a heathen according to Genesis Israelites, and you can still make it. Okay, the Lord is gonna, Yahawashi died for you too. The Lord is just gonna come wipe. You've been wicked all your life, and you don't gotta repent. The Lord is just gonna wipe your slate clean. That ain't the truth. Okay, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Okay, so that straight gate is difficult. That leads to life. Okay, but in order to get life, you got to go through some shit. All right, a lot of these guys, you're already seeing a lot of these guys. The persecution ain't even came yet, and a lot of them, these false teachers out here, these false prophets, are running for the hills. All right, are looking for some type of refuge, or looking for some type of buyout from this devil Esau. All right, let me go to Jude. I'm going to start at the top. Jude 1 and 1. Jude, the servant of Yahawashi Mashiach, the brother of James, to them that are sanctified for the Most High, the Father, and preserved in Yahawashi Mashiach, and called, mercy unto you, peace and love be multiplied. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend, for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. For there certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our power, Yahawah, into lasciviousness, and denying the Holy Lord power and our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach. All right, it's going to be men crept in unawares, where they're going to look the part of an Israelite. They're going to speak with great words. They're going to be great orators, but you're going to know as they go deeper into their doctrine what their true intentions are. All right, that their doctrine isn't pure. Okay, their doctrine is diluted. All right, with emotions of this world, with heresies, with it's been diluted in with the devil's doctrine. Okay, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not. The Lord is going to put his elect in remembrance. Okay? And these false prophets, everyone has come back in that lot. If you're a member of the elect, if you're a helper of the prophets, you're going to come back in that lot. If you're a false prophet, you're going to come back in your lot. Okay? It's plain and simple. Okay? That I don't, it ain't that, it's not that hard to, to comprehend once you understand this truth. Hey, these guys are necessary. Okay, this is John 12 and 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay, so it's really the Most High that's deceiving these guys, and having them bring forth this false doctrine to deceive those that he doesn't want. That's why you have to be circumspect. That's why you have to look up words. That's why you have to look, and you have to be diligent in the scriptures and look into these things, like this church of Berea. Okay, you gotta be a stoic. All right. This is Ezekiel 13 and 2. Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say, thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of the Lord. These guys are prophesying out of their own heart, and it really ain't their heart. It's really the heart of Esau Edom, their handler, who has paid them Not all of them. Some of them are bugged out, but a lot of them have took that bag one way or another. All right, and it may not come in the form of money. It may come in the form of a position. All right, a family member being in a certain position or not in a certain position. Okay, like hey, you do this, and your cousin or whoever will get early release. Esau has numerous ways to trap you. Okay, numerous ways to pretty much buy your buy your shit, buy your loyalty to him. Okay, and these guys they're going out sad, man, because they're going to be shamed in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, I don't know how long, but they're going to have their head down for a long time, knowing that they sold out to this devil. Okay, verse 3: Thus saith the Lord, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. They're following their own spirit. O Israel, thy prophets are like foxes in the desert. You have not gone into the gaps, neither made up the hedge of the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Lord saith, and the Lord have not sent them. And and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. You got other people out there that's actually putting hope in these guys, okay, and they're gonna be heavily disappointed when they see that their leaders have led them down a road to destruction and they can't get out. Okay, they let them down in the ditch and there ain't no rope, there's no ladder for them to get out. All right, the scripture says, the blind lead the blind; they both shall find and fall into a ditch. So the leader and the people that led them, okay, going to fall into that ditch. Okay, and there's no way out. Okay, because if you're not teaching that the mark of the beast is the microchip, you through. Okay, because that's the main prophecy. One of the that's 1A to that's 1A to World War III being A. Okay, of the prophecies that have to come to pass in these last days. All right. Let me go over to I think it's Jeremiah 23. Jeremiah 23 and I'll start at 9. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because the Lord Yahawah, and because of the words of his holiness. The land is full of adulterers, for because swearing the land mourneth, the pleasant place of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right. Actually, let me see. Let me go down. Where was it at? Here it go. Here it is. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he has executed, until he has performed the thoughts of his. Actually, let me start up, because this basically the whole thing goes into false prophets. But thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you, that make you vain, that they speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of the Lord. These guys are not coming they're not coming in the spirit of Yahawashi, even though they may say the name. They're not coming in the true spirit of Yahawashi, saying heathens can make it, and heathens can make it. Heathens are gonna have glorified bodies. All right. The mark of the beast ain't the microchip, and numerous other false doctrines. But the main ones, okay, the main ones are they're all for. Okay. Was that verse 17? They say still unto them that despise me, the Lord have said, yea, shall have peace, and they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of their own heart, no evil shall come upon you. Or these are these guys that say that, oh, we got 20 more years, we could be 100 more years, it could be 1,000 more years. They're not seeking and hastening unto the day of the Lord. Okay, they're not giving our people the proper warning. That's the job of a prophet, to give the warning. Hey, this is going to happen, and you realize the power in that, of telling someone something before it happens. All right, if I told a nigga the lotto numbers, I think the lotto's like $2 billion or something right now, and a lot of would hit, they would say, oh damn, they would see the power. Okay, but we're not giving you lotto numbers or games to bet on or none of that shit. We're giving you truth. We're giving you prophetic events that are gonna take place, and they're gonna have a monumental, epic effect on the whole world. All right, this world that we're living in is passing away right before our eyes. All right, this message is more powerful than any message you could ever hear. All right, but our people, they won't hearken because it's not coming with smooth words. It's not coming with effects and wonders and theatrics and gimmicks. We're giving it to you straight. Okay. Um, Let me say, for who hath stood in the counsel of the Lord and have perceived and heard his word, who have marked his words and heard it. Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord Yahawah is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. That's talking about wicked Israelites. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly. All right, excuse me. Let me go over to Romans 16. Romans 16 and verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division, meaning that word mark goes into scopeo, excuse me, which cause division in offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. All right, so we avoid these guys at all costs. All right, and we warn our people of these doctrines of devils. All right, and when so when they may have come across them, they may come across a video, they already know, they got the heads up. All right, they know if anyone is saying that heathens can make it. All right, they off. All right, verse 18. For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach, but their own bellies, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. So it's a lot of simple ass niggas out there. All right, that don't have and don't want to have the ability to critically think and look into these scriptures and understand the scriptures as a whole. All right, a nigga rather listen to a pork chop eating preacher, or nowadays a false a false Hebrew Israelite prophet. All right, that they come with all the good words, and you're Hebrew Israelites. They come and tell you the sweet about the truth, but they try to dilute the bitter. All right, and you come to Great Millstone, you come to a camp of Great Millstone, you're going to get the full. You ain't going to get no, maybe the heathens can make it, or your mama's, she's white, but nah, we're going to tell you the truth is. All right, we're going to break it down in its entirety. All right, we're going to go into history. Like we said, you're going to get all the meat off the bone concerning whatever topic it is, as it pertains to the scriptures and salvation. All right. While these other false prophets, these niggas out here, they're just gonna, go around in circles. All right. Use word salad. All right. Use big words to make you think like, oh, this guy's deep. Oh, this guy know what he's talking about. When this guy don't know shit. This is John 1, 1 John 4 and 1. Excuse me. Behold, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. All right, you got to try the spirit. All right, and if they're of the Yahawashi, okay, hereby know ye the spirit of the Most High. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahawashi Mashiach is come in the flesh is of the Most High. Every spirit that confesseth not that Yahawashi Mashiach is come in the flesh is not of the Most High, and this is the spirit of an anti-Hamashiach, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and and even now already is in the world. All right, so it's many false anointed. All right, it's many that are going to come that they're not. Yeah, there's going to come that people that's going to act like they're the Messiah. They have a message. Their message is from the Messiah. Okay, but we know that the Most High not dealing with them. The Most High or Son isn't dealing with these guys. Okay. Let me see if I had anything else. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. I spoke how the deceived and the deceiver are his, and how the Lord has done this in the past. It put a lying spirit on these prophets, okay, to deceive the ones that he doesn't want. Okay, and we're living in these times where we know Esau is the great deceiver. Esau is, he's mastered the art of deception, but he's got wicked ass Israelites doing the same. That's, you think that, this guy's a brother. God goes out every week and, he preaches the word and, he think he's sincere, but hey, he got slid in the back door too. And Esau gave him a bag or gave him an opportunity or whatever it may be. All right, because it's something we know we could pinpoint and know what it is because these guys were preaching the right thing at once, and all of a sudden they did a 180, and now it's they got basically you call them they got anything goes doctrines. All right, anything you say, anything you think, or anything you feel, when you wake up that day, you going like damn, I think heathens can make it. Or I think you could do this. Or I think there's no such thing as chariots. Or I think and then they go with this I think, and then all of a sudden it becomes truth. All right, the latest one, and I'm thinking, Lord, we're not gonna do a video on it where they saying Obadiah 1:18 is not literal. Okay, and they don't have the spirit of discernment to discern when things are literal and when things are you're speaking of it in a spiritual sense. Okay, but that's all I had. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the hopeful elect, and I would like to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakakwadash, Shalom.